Hello everyone, and welcome to my LP of Connections, a PC point-and-click adventure game released in 1995. It was developed by a company known as Some Interactive and based on a TV show of the same name. Yeah, it's definitely not the recipe for success, but it is a fairly decent game. Uh, as far as FMV point-and-click adventure games go, I guess we'll just jump right in then. And I don't really know what the difference between male and female is. I've always played as male. I couldn't imagine why I would pick that, but yeah, I think we'll just stick with male for the time being. Now, I'm sure some people might call this cheating, but even though I've beaten this game 7 or 8 times, it has been a very long time since I've actually completed it. And because it's such a niche, well, I don't know if niche would be the right word, uh, obscure title, I'm going to leave hints on because walkthrough documentation is fairly scarce, and well, I kind of want to be able to play this game without it being too blind. I'm, I've had past experience with blind games on this channel, and it's not gone very well. I'd like to try something a little more, I don't know, I guess safe. And yeah, so hints are hints, they're not cheats. As if it weren't obvious. Alright, so right away we dropped into this medieval environment. You can see we've got the view screen here. Over here is where your inventory is, and down here are what known as the connections area. I'm not sure what the official name is. It's probably in the manual, which PC games were known for having in 1995. I'll explain this in a bit, but basically the objective of each level is, well, they're fairly linear. There's only one way to beat them, but you need to find the items that fit into these slots. It's not really a hunting game of sorts. They kind of are given to you. A lot of them are items that you use for future puzzles. And then over here you have a pause menu, of course. Now you're probably thinking, oh, 1995, well, this game's really old. I mean, how are you running this thing? Well, I mean, I would Alt-Tab, but that would probably destroy the game. Not really a thing you could do in 1995, I guess, but I can do this and prove to you that this game is being run on a virtual machine. Easiest way to play it, obviously. Ooh, did I break the music? Well then. That was good. Oh, yeah, I think I might have. Well, we'll see what happens here. I may have some technical difficulties, but I know that if I go in this house... Well, the sound effects still work. Ah, there we go. Music's still there. Now, the house is the first place you need to go into. None of the other... You saw the shops there. You can't really do anything in there yet, so best thing to do is to go in here. Now, we need to go to the left, but if you go forward... Yeah, you get some foreshadowing of a future character. If it's not obvious, he is the villain of this game. And momentarily you'll find out what his nefarious plans are. Now, you might have noticed, but we were standing in front of a medieval castle, and now we're in a fairly modern looking room. We've got books, some African themed zebra shield, and Newton's cradle. Not really something you would find in a 11th century home. Especially this guy.
You're probably wondering where you are. My study. Well, virtually. Oh, I suppose it's real enough. You can move around in here, you can look at things, explore all you like, but there's only one way to get out. I don't quite know how to explain this. You see, this room is part of a much larger place that doesn't follow the rules of time and space and history, especially history. I call it the web, and everything on the web represents a thought or a thing or a person or an event that happened once upon a time. Only problem is, none of it makes much sense on its own. And what is worse, somebody or something has accelerated the natural rate of chaos. So the web is falling apart fast. And the only way to escape is to find a pathway of connecting links on the web that will lead you out. And there's very little time. That's about all I can tell you right now. I'm starting to fade. Oh, and who am I? I'm James Burke. Well, virtually. Think of me as a kind of ghost in the machine. Don't worry, it'll all come clearer. I'll be back from time to time in one form or another very soon. Gotta go. Good luck.
All right, well, that guy there, he's the host of the TV show Connections. And yeah, as he said, he will be back very soon, as you will see momentarily. Now, a few things in this room. There's not too much to interact with that's not necessary for a puzzle. But if you walk forward once and turn left, you can see some more foreshadowing with this picture above the fireplace. Probably won't see that for a couple of videos, but basically the way this game works is it's divided into levels. Even though it kind of plays like Myst. There's, I think, 6 levels in total, spanned over a whopping 2 discs. Oh man. And this picture here is a photograph of a future level. Oh, wrong way. Don't think there's any. Yeah, you can't interact with anything. Like I said, it's been a while. And no, that guy doesn't come back. Thankfully. Had a lot of nightmares as a kid, seeing that guy all the time. Alright, so what we want to do, there's a few things we can interact with here. Now, if we click down here, we can get a better look at the desk. There's a lot of stuff we need to do in here. So we've got this typewriter, there's a pencil, this pad of paper is important, this answering machine and telephone. These two will lead to some interesting events in this level, in my opinion. First thing we should do is pick up this pencil.
Yes, you found a significant item. Interesting, the pencil. Did you know the lead is graphite that you get from heating up carborundum? And graphite crystals have extremely regular atomic spacings, which made them ideal for the first experiments in X-ray diffraction. So what? Well, carborundum is the key to linking the pencil with something else on the web that you might just find in, oh, I don't know, a medieval castle.
Alright, so I guess I can't really hide it for much longer. This game is kind of an edutainment title. I wouldn't say it was marketed as one, but considering that it's based off a TV show on the Discovery Channel, it's kind of inevitable. So basically, a lot of the items you pick up, like I said, this is the Connections link down here, and the pencil is one of them. The item next to it has something in common with the pencil. I honestly can't remember once, so I couldn't tell you even if I wanted to. I'll kind of keep it as a surprise because I think that's a fairly decent chunk of the game, seeing how all these different things are connected. You can actually click on the items that appear here and you'll get some video clips with history on the item and how they connect to other items. I'm not going to do that now because they're fairly lengthy and you can't actually close them on your own. You have to wait for the whole video to finish. But I figured at the end of each level I would create a separate video showcasing these clips. Hopefully that's a safe thing to do. I don't see anything wrong with it considering it is technically game footage. But enough about the logistics and ethics of uploading TV show footage. Over here is something kind of a bonus, I guess. So, just talking about, I guess, some more psychological, deep stuff about the world and how it's falling apart and how things are connected. Anyways, back to the actual game. So the next thing we want to do is we can see here, if you look closely, I'm not sure how YouTube's going to compress this, but you can kind of see an outline of some words. Very hard to read. But what we need to do is, this pencil will be involved in that, but what we need to do is we need to open this drawer, and there's some paper in here, some carbon paper.
It's hard to believe, but this flimsy piece of copying technology connects to a hulking machine. It also links to an invention so simple that we tend to take it for granted.
You might notice already, the audio quality in-game, at least for the voice-acted parts, not the highest. Not really sure what I'd be able to do to fix that, but I apologize in advance for any static from the voices. Again, it's 1995 and an FMV game. Not the highest production value, of course, but hey, at least it's got CGI environments instead of live action ones. That's always a bonus. So at least looks fairly nice. So what we need to do with this carbon paper is we go over here. Now this carbon paper, if you didn't know, has carbon on it, hence the name. And we can use this pencil to sketch very loudly, and it's very hard to talk over this because it's extremely loud. But it will reveal a phone number. Now, can't really do too much with this phone number yet, so best not to bother with it, but just keep it in mind. This is a very important phone number in the future. The next thing we need to do is if we zoom, well, open that's something in a couple minutes here I'll show you. Next thing we need to do is over here. Now, if we went back out to the shops, you would see there's two of them. There is an alchemy shop and a electronics shop. Again, it's a very weird game. Now, what you need in the alchemy shop is... Actually, what? Why don't we just go over there? That picture can wait a few minutes. Yes, I'm sure the suspense is killing you. But it would make a lot more sense if I did this first. Show you the methodical order that this game wants you to do things in.